Information shared on the following program is for general information purposes only. It does not constitute legal, tax, investment, or other advice, nor is it intended to recommend any particular investments, products, or financial instruments. Always seek advice from your financial advisor, attorney, or accountant with regard to investment, legal, or tax questions.
Hey, boss, got a second?
Yeah, pretty busy, Gina.
Look what I just ran across.
Where was this?
Your staff sheet from 2012.
3 full-time employees? Is that all I had back then?
That's it. And just think now in 2024, you're up to 19.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Well, I tell you what I say to that. So, here we grow again.
Welcome to the only show in the country dedicated to helping savers worry less about money, the Worry-Free Retirement, with your host, nationally recognized retirement specialist and 6-time author and fiduciary, Tony Walker.
In 1984, I entered the financial field working for my father-in-law selling car and home insurance at his insurance agency in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 2 years later, I began focusing on the sale of life insurance, mutual funds, and dabbling in variable annuities. Then came 1988, the true turning point in my financial career when I obtained the prestigious CLU designation and began focusing solely on financial and estate planning. Then, in 1989, I struck out on my own, departing from my father-in-law's insurance agency to chart a new path by offering estate planning services to business owners, and then a few years later becoming a registered investment advisor and offering security products with Charles Schwab. Those were tough times back then, and as I've mentioned before, had it not been for my wife Susan working nights and weekends as a nurse, I would have been forced to leave the financial world and possibly change careers. The course and trajectory of my practice changed in 2001 when 2 planes flew into 2 buildings in New York as I watched the stock market crash and then decided to leave the market and focus solely on safer investments for savers. Those folks who, like my granddad, did not like taking a lot of risk in retirement. As my practice slowly grew, I realized I needed to add staff, which I did. In fact, by the time 2012 rolled around, besides myself, I had 3 full-time employees to assist me in reaching out to savers. Fast forward to today, as we record this show in May of 2024, and Tony Walker Financial now has 19 full-time employees, 21 if you include America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Orander, and of course Louisville, Kentucky's most laid-back graphics artist, Mr. Derek Hudson, all here for one purpose and one purpose only, to provide a mission of helping savers worry less and less about money. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm so determined to take care of the more than 3,000 clients who depend on Tony Walker Financial to keep them worry-free in retirement. Which is why today we are going to take you on a journey of how and why Tony Walker Financial has grown to the size we have, while at the same time exploring the process of how we are so efficient at helping so many people plan for retirement, and most importantly, better use and enjoy their money before it's too late. And to open up the show, let's now go to our longtime staff member and now the person who would actually take over Tony Walker Financial should something happen to yours truly, Miss Heather Hughes, to share her perspective of our growth and our ability to successfully take care of so many savers.
So I started with Tony Walker Financial in 2006. Back then, it was just 3 of us, myself, Tony, of course, and then Connie, who has recently retired from the firm. We added another hire shortly after that, but it's amazing the growth that we've experienced over all of that time. Now we're up to 19 full-time employees. Our client base has grown. Our commitment to serving the clients has grown. And it's just been very fulfilling to be on this journey with Tony and see how many people we've been able to help throughout retirement.
Now, at this point, you might be asking the same question my wife asks me all the time. Tony, couldn't you get by with a lot less staff and thus allowing you to take more money out of the business for yourself? But at this point of the game, that's not really what this is all about for me. In fact, after working in this field for 40 years, it really is not about the money, but making sure that my clients have an experience that I feel they deserve from a company that is working in their best interest. By the way, I have no plans on retiring, but again, if something were to happen to Tony Walker, we have plans in place, a business continuation plan that will keep the firm going long after I'm no longer able to do so. So stay tuned. When I return, we're going to take a deeper dive into the success of Tony Walker Financial and how great our staff is at treating our savers with dignity and respect. I'm Tony Walker. I'll be right back. Did you realize that if you have more than $250,000 in retirement assets, the government could tax as much as 40% of it when you go to take it out? And with current tax rates set to expire in 2025, the taxes you will owe on your 401k could climb even higher. Don't wait until 2025 to see how much Uncle Sam will take of your money. Get a game plan by logging on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Well, as we think about the historical significance of how we've grown at Tony Walker Financial, I would be remiss if I left out one of the key players in this growth in terms of our production studio, WorryFree Productions, and that would be America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Orander. There he stands. Come on over, Aaron. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir. Hello, everybody. Hello, audience.
So we just got a couple of minutes here, but we got to go down memory lane. You and I first met at a large television station where I was on TV. What year was that?
So we met probably about 2010, 2011 area, somewhere around there.
And then, so we did that show for a while on the network. And then, well, I did the show on the network with a host. Then we kind of took over and did our own thing. And I felt like it was going so well. Then we kind of broke off on our own and started the WorryFree Retirement Show. That was around 2013, I think, 14.
Yeah. So I came on full-time with you 2013 or so. We still stayed at the television station for about a year and did the show there. And then you called me and you were like, hey, I think we need to kind of do our own thing. And I said, okay.
And that led us to the broom closet years. Oh, those were fun, weren't they? How did we manage to get?
I don't know.
Was it 10 by 10 room? We tried to pull that off.
I think we both just stayed really skinny, so we just had a lot of room and could just move around a lot. But it was tight, folks.
And then we moved to 8303 Shelbyville Road, and that was the turnstile studio that I dreamed up. What did it take, 5 men and a mule to get that thing turned around?
It was a lot of fun to watch them bring it in here and put it together, and then all of a sudden it just kind of hit me. I was like, "Oh, crud! I gotta fool with this thing when they're done. But they get to set it up and then leave. I gotta fool with it when they're done."
Well, speaking of setup, then we did go to the current set, the professional folks out of North Carolina. That was a game changer. I mean, this set is really cool.
They did a great job. I'm very, very impressed. I got to sit here and actually watch them put it all together and everything, and it was amazing.
And so now we kind of turn to the monitor here. Our 500th episode. We're now up to, what, 520 or something?
This is like 516, yeah.
And we got to catch Bonanza. We caught Bonanza, but we got to catch Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke. We're going to catch Gunsmoke, folks, and exceed them. And then finally, we've got our new podcast format we've been working on, so folks are going to notice some changes there. Really excited about this. And I think the reason I'm excited about this, Aaron, our format is trying to be a little more laid back, get more of the staff involved so the audience can see what a wonderful staff we have. So thanks again to you. Thanks to Derek as we continue to kind of make the show even more entertaining and more enjoyable. And thanks to you folks for watching the Worry-Free Retirement. Have you recently retired, been laid off, or offered a pension buyout? Has the company you work for moved, been acquired, or closed its doors forever? And finally, do you have a 401k with a previous employer you'd like to move to safer territory? Then take advantage of this opportunity to move your 401k or lump sum pension to Tony Walker Financial. Let's meet in person to discuss your retirement options. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com to schedule your free, no obligation appointment. Let us help you today. In keeping with our theme of Here We Grow Again, I wanted to kind of go over our structure at Tony Walker Financial and how we are so unique in what we call the ratio of advisors to service staff. So when you're thinking about working with an advisory firm, you have to ask yourself, are they going to be more sales-oriented or more service-oriented? And again, I'm not going to speak for all advisors. I don't mean to do that. I'm not trying to disparage anyone, but we have to take a look at how the typical advisory firm is set up. So let's take a look at this graphic that our own Derek Hudson created. And this is called the sales-heavy method of structuring your business model if you're a financial advisor out there in the financial world. And if you'll notice, the typical advisory firm has a lot of advisors. Now, these advisors are charged with finding new business and working with certain clients. Usually the advisors are assigned to certain clients. So if you called the firm and if the advisor's not there, probably nobody's going to be there to help you, nor the advisors are going to weigh in on it. They're going to have to wait till the advisor comes back. So you're kind of assigned an advisor, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then you have the problem of getting to know an advisor, and what if the advisor has a certain type of game plan or structure and they leave the firm? It happens all the time. Then are the other advisors going to follow the same policies, procedures, and investments that the advisor you trusted before is going to follow? Hard to say. But if you'll notice, something happens here. The ratio, the number of advisors to service staff, is many times very limited. In other words, there's kind of a 5-to-1 ratio. In other words, 5 advisors might only have 1 service staff member. Again, this is not complete for all advisory firms. This is just what I see in terms of the structure. More advisors than there are service staff. Well, let's take a look at Tony Walker Financial. We tend to say we are service heavy. In fact, as we talked about only having 3 staff members in 2012, and now we have a total of 19, that's not even including myself, 19 service professionals, we are more service heavy. And here's how this looks. Of course, we have myself, Tony Walker, the owner of the company, who is what we call the lead advisor. I pretty much meet with all new prospects. I meet with a lot of the referrals that we get, a lot of the clients that want to come see me. We have an open door policy for anyone who wants to meet with me. I'm going to make my best efforts to do that. But then we have 3 trained, salaried fiduciaries underneath myself who have been trained in the WorryFree retirement process. What's unique about that, if you call into the office, if I'm unavailable, one of these other trained fiduciaries is going to be there to assist you. And you might say, well, how are they going to know what I need? Well, that's the beauty of having the written game plan. The game plan is going to quickly instruct our advisors into what's going on, what questions you might have, and now, of course, they can't feel like they can handle that question. They're going to defer that back to me. But these folks are highly trained and in most cases can answer all of your questions no matter who you are as a client. But look at all the service staff. Right now, let's go up full screen with this, Derek. Look at all the people employed by Tony Walker Financial. Of course, we have myself, Heather, Trey, and Wes. Those are all fiduciaries. But if we get down to Gina, she's the office manager in Louisville. We have Shannon, who does all of our trading with our Charles Schwab. JJ handles all the new business in the annuity department. We've got Mandy in charge of service. Lisa Allerkamp, she's in charge of the income planning department that orchestrates all of those wonderful income plans. We have Leanne, who is tax certified. We have Shanna Zachary over here to the far left, who's in charge of scheduling all of my appointments. Juanita Jackson, who's located here in the Louisville office, who is in charge of all the Schwab new business. TJ Timmy Reagan, who's actually one of our other tax certified specialists. We have Wendy. We have Craig, who does all the rollover calls. We have Caitlin. Beth, who's new to our firm, who also handles all of the onboarding. So if you want to move forward, she's going to get all the details in place. And then we have Alyssa, we have Mary Beth, and we have Casey, who just recently joined our firm. Again, a wonderful staff, but as you can see, as we grow, we're also going to grow our service department to keep up with that growth. So if you're looking for a firm that is maybe more service heavy instead of sales heavy, why not give us an opportunity to talk more about the details of our work and our process at Tony Walker Financial? It's easy to get started. Just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com, TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started, or if the internet's not your thing, call us anytime, 24/7. We have operators standing by at any time to take your call. That toll-free number is 877-499-9255. Speaking of our staff and who does what, I wanted to focus on the growth and the level of efficiency of our two main departments, the Charles Schwab Department and the Annuity New Business Department. So to tell us more about those two departments, let us turn to Shannon Ross, who in 2017 helped resurrect the Schwab Department, and Jennifer J.J. Jaggers to discuss the changes we've implemented to write even more annuity contracts for this coming year.
I joined the Tony Walker Financial team in 2017 to integrate brokerage business with Charles Schwab into our firm, and was somewhat of a lone wolf in building out and managing our investments department until 2020, when Wes Walker, an investment advisor, joined our team of fiduciaries. And now, as of the date of this recording, May 2024, we also have Juanita Jackson and Craig Davis, who are both exclusively dedicated to Charles Schwab new business, and also an entire department of service professionals dedicated to any and all maintenance of account needs. The first year we managed brokerage accounts in 2017, we had around 500 accounts with a little under 50 million assets under management. Currently, as of May 2024, we have around 2,600 accounts with over 260 million in assets under the management of Tony Walker Financial. The integration of investments through Charles Schwab has been pivotal in implementing our split IRA concept for our clients, which not only diversifies their overall retirement game plan, but also provides them a liquidity bucket to access distributions whenever they need, which gives the annuities time to grow. Our in-house investment committee researches and selects the investment strategies, and our advisors guide the client in choosing a strategy that suits their individual risk tolerance. All trading is also done in-house, so we pride ourselves on keeping that personal touch and also helping folks use and enjoy their hard-earned money. Finally, our Charles Schwab platform also allows our annuity department to better oversee any transfers out to annuities used in our planning purposes. I'll turn that over to Jennifer to touch on how the annuity new business process has transformed over time. Jennifer?
My name is Jennifer Jaggers, and I have recently taken over annuity new business here at Tony Walker Financial following the retirement of longtime employee Miss Connie Fortney. In 2023, Connie's retirement, coupled with the introduction of new technology, provided an opportunity for us to implement a new process to limit paperwork and process business more quickly and efficiently. All annuity applications are now signed and submitted electronically to companies for approval. We closely monitor the transfer of funds, anywhere from personal checks, our internal Charles Schwab accounts, or sometimes even rollovers from employer 401k accounts until those policies are issued. At which point, an advisor within the office will review finalized annuities with you, along with a binder of information, which includes an updated income plan and review of any other accounts that may have been set up. Going forward, clients can reach out to our service team here at Tony Walker Financial for any and all questions or changes regarding those annuities. We are always here to assist.
All right, thank you so much, Shannon and Jennifer, and it truly has been an amazing time to see these processes play out and what we've been able to accomplish over the last several years. We really are trying to what we call sharpen the saw and get more efficient at helping more and more clients. This is a process, the WorryFree retirement, and the key word here is it is a process that I created years ago, and this process is never changing and in turn has become a well-oiled machine so that we can serve more and more savers. It really is a great time in my life, and I'm so thankful to be a financial advisor and, of course, have this wonderful staff that can help us take care of all of these clients. Now, another thing that I believe really has set us apart from the rest of the financial world is something that some 20 years ago I adopted, which I call the 4-day work week. And right now at Tony Walker Financial, we work Monday through Thursdays and we're closed on Fridays. which gives our staff a 3-day weekend each and every week. But here's what happens. When our staff comes back in the office on Monday morning, they are raring to go to assist our clients in any needs that they might have. But instead of me telling you about how great the 4-day work week has gone, I'm going to turn it over now to Heather Hughes, our longest tenured employee at Tony Walker Financial, along with one of our new staff members, Miss Wendy Kelly.
Hi, I'm Heather Hughes. I'm here in the office today with Wendy Kelly, and just wanted to talk with you, Wendy, about our 4-day work week. So, of course, I've been with Tony for 18 plus years, and I've always been blessed with that 4-day work week. Tony came back from Strategic Coach years ago and, heralded the benefits of a 4-day work week. So I'm a little spoiled, but I kind of wanted to get your take on it since you're one of our newer employees. You're not the newest employee. And, if you could kind of speak about how it's different, kind of what environment you came from and what you see the benefits and the challenges of a 4-day work week.
Sure. Be happy to. Yes, I came from an industry where I did work 5 days a week, some long hours. So coming here, that was certainly one of the perks that enticed me to come here. Personally, I can say I use that extra day to run errands or do things for the family or stuff that I've not been able to do during the week. And our Saturdays are always so busy. So that's been awesome. I've really enjoyed that. But professionally, we do have a 4-day work weekend, so we're very mindful of what we get done in those 4 days. I almost want to use the word intense, that when we're here, our nose is to the grindstone and we're working. There's not a lot of the water cooler chat, and we're here and we're busy. We're working. We're answering the phone, moving contracts along or Schwab stuff along. So we are very focused while we're here to get done what needs to be done. Honestly, I think more than some folks do in 5 or 6 days. We really do get a lot done.
I think you're right. Of course, we've had other hires after you. Mm-hmm. We were up to about 19 full-time staff. And that, I think, is one of their first things that they notice is, you use the word intensity and how laser-focused we are during those 4 days. We pack a lot into those 4 days.
We do.
Tony always focuses on, the top-notch service that we provide clients. And to do that, we've really got to be on top of things. And, with you, I know with a lot that you do in the office, you're very deadline driven too.
Yes, and that is something that we have to be mindful of, or at least I am very mindful of, is there's a lot of deadlines as far as allocation goes, for example. Or if we deliver a binder, we have delivery receipts that we have to get in by a certain date. And so we are very mindful of the weekend and the Friday. So we stay on top of that, so that way we don't miss deadlines. And again, we can serve our clients serve their needs.
Oh, right. Very much. So, and I think the 4-day work week keeps a happy staff as well.
It does. It very much does. We come in on Thursday and we say, happy little Friday.
That's exactly right. Yeah. No, I appreciate you taking time and talking with us today.
Absolutely. Glad to do it. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
To be a faithful and effective servant to others, it has been said that the servant must first possess a servant's heart. But what does that really mean to be a faithful servant, and what does that look like when it comes to the financial world and the person you decide to trust with your life savings? Seeing as though I've been in this business for 40 years now and met in person with nearly 20,000 savers, in my humble opinion, serving others during our brief time here on earth comes down to this. Regardless of whether you are the employee or the employer, according to the Bible, it really doesn't matter, because in the end, we all work for someone else. Let me explain. As of the date of this recording at Tony Walker Financial, as the owner of the company, I now employ 19 full-time employees, 21 if you include Aaron and Derek, who are employed by my other company, WorryFree Productions. And according to the Bible, there is a relationship in play that I and those employees must adhere to in order to be successful in our service to others. The question is, what is my role as their boss, so to speak, and what is their role as my employees? Well, as I scour the pages of Scripture for guidance on this matter, it's interesting to observe that back in Jesus' day, the employer was referred to as the master, and the staff who worked for the master were referred to as slaves. And while I do not consider myself a master over my staff, nor to refer to them as slaves, it does allow me to better understand what God expects of both the masters and the slaves in terms of what He expects of employers and their employees. According to Colossians 4:1, God instructs me as the employer to provide my staff with a working environment that is right and fair. In turn, 1 Peter 2:18 reminds employees to treat me as their boss with dignity and respect. This relationship is found in the Bible, and my heart's desire to treat my staff fairly was on full display when some 20 years ago I implemented what was unusual for back then, but now more appreciated today, something I refer to as the 4-day work week. This mutual agreement we have together is this. In exchange for them working only 4 days, they agree to work their tails off during those 4 days so that in return, they can look forward to a 3-day weekend on their own. To say the 4-day work week has been a blessing for all would be an understatement, and in my opinion, I think one of the key ingredients as to the success of our organization and the culture we have created. The way I figure it, if my staff is well rested and enthusiastic about work, they will in turn do a better job of serving the needs of the clients God has called us to serve. And isn't that what having a healthy relationship with our Master in heaven is all about? To work hard at serving others here on earth so that one day we can look forward to Him saying to us, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." Well, speaking of masters and slaves, do you currently feel like you are mastering this thing called retirement, or feeling more like retirement is the master over you? Well, it doesn't have to be this way. If you have a well-thought-out, written game plan that reflects your values and your goals with your money in retirement, I can assure you that you are going to worry less about it. And we can help at Tony Walker Financial. In fact, we've made this so easy to learn more about our services, we call it the free 10-minute fiduciary phone call. And here's how easy it is for myself and you to talk about your situation. Just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. You're going to click on that little Let's Get Started button. Then we will arrange our 10-minute phone call. Now, if it warrants, after that phone call, if it looks like we can be of help, I'm going to offer a free appointment with myself. That's right, no cost, no obligation. Someone has been doing this for nearly 40 years, and I'm going to share my expertise to find out what we can do to help you. And we can meet in person at either our Bowling Green, Louisville, or Lexington, Kentucky offices. So log on now, TonyWalkerFinancial.com, whether you're retired, retiring soon, maybe just received an inheritance or another large sum of money, maybe you got an old 401k sitting over there that nobody's managing, we can help. Oh, by the way, internet not your thing? No problem. We have live operators 24/7 that can take your call. We will call you immediately, and if it's over the weekend, we'll call you first thing Monday morning. Just give us a buzz at 877-499-9255. Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's program. We've enjoyed being with you, but you remember, between now and next week, if all else fails, you make it a good one, but you be worry-free in the meantime.